All right, let's talk about the top 7 reasons to live in Wexford, Pennsylvania. And make sure to stick around to the end. It's a bonus reason, which is my personal favorite regarding the Wexford area. Hey guys, this is DJ Fairley, and if this is your first time to our channel living in Pittsburgh, make sure to click that like button, subscribe, click the little bell as well to make sure you're notified for all new videos. So number 1, unbelievable school districts, right? So Western Pennsylvania, being that we're very heavily driven by our school districts, and it's a big reason that many here actually decide where they're gonna live. So our housing demand is really determined quite a bit in Western PA by our school districts. We are fortunate we have so many great school districts, but the Wexford area offers some of the best. Again, according to many of the websites, niche.com just ranked for 2022 the North Allegheny School District #1. And it is a huge district. So from K through 12, it's about 8,500 students, and that number is growing. So as you can imagine, with more and more students going to those school districts, as far as North Allegheny and then Pine Richland is half that size, but still really large. It's about 4,500, we'll say K through 12. High school being 1,500 plus, even at Pine Richland. So that demand for those school districts, again, has really increased demand for housing. So post-COVID, prices really went up quite a bit. Even though there's a lot of new construction, right now we still have a severe lack of supply. So demand is still outpacing supply, being that those school districts are still such a huge part of why most people are migrating to that Wexford area. All right, let's talk about the number 2 reason to live in Wexford, Pennsylvania. So we just mentioned the school districts. The sporting teams are pretty unbelievable. So being that these are such large school districts, being North Allegheny and Pine Richland, they offer literally every sport you can imagine for both men and women and combined. So if you are looking for sports, which, and again, in Western Pennsylvania, we are a very sports-driven area. Number 1 being football, even nationally, these school districts are well known. Ironically, kind of crazy timing, this year, 2022, and this just happened recently, North Allegheny just won the WPIAL Class 6A championship, and Pine Richland just won the same championship for 5A, which is just one step below. So both schools just won the WPIAL championship in football, proving these programs are kind of powerhouses and well known in our area. Couple fun facts about it. So most, or a lot of, I should say, the Pittsburgh Steelers live in that either Pine Richland or North Allegheny School District, mainly Pine Richland. But a lot of the, now their sons and daughters are also playing sports at the school. So for example, Joey Porter, retired Pittsburgh Steelers great. His son played at North Allegheny. I believe it was 2018-19. Joey Porter was also a coach there. And recently, Vince Williams of the Pittsburgh Steelers retired about a year ago and was the linebackers coach at Pine Richland this past year. So yeah, pretty cool fun fact, but powerhouses again, as far as just all sports they offer. All right, so the number 3 pro of the Wexford area is it being a suburb, but still having kind of the smaller town feel in some areas, but super close to the city. So why it's my personal favorite, it is gonna be newer housing, newer shopping, newer commerce, versus the South Hills, which is just, again, more mature, and a lot of the housing stock in the South Hills on average was built in the 1900s, where a lot of the properties in the North Hills area, which Wexford we would refer to again as that North Hills area, is going to be more on average, say 40, 50 years old. And there's a lot of new construction and a lot of new businesses, shopping, restaurants, you name it, coming into that Wexford area. So I just really like that it's always kind of growing up there. Even just a bit north of the Wexford area, the Cranberry area where our Pittsburgh Penguins have their practice facilities, and even into Butler, there's a ton of new construction and a lot of new commerce coming in, just being taxes are a bit lower just north. So that suburban feel, but still being able to get to the city fairly quickly is truly my favorite. So that's why it's such a highly demanded area. There's a lot of really nice subdivisions. You still have that kind of quietness, but then it's still only, say, a 15-minute drive, sometimes even less on the weekends with no traffic, and you're downtown. All right, the number 4 pro to living in Wexford, Pennsylvania would be restaurant, shopping, kind of commerce in general. So there is a plethora of everything you can imagine, from your big box, bigger name stores to a lot of your high-end stores as well in the Ross Park Mall area. Lastly, some really cool kind of boutique type stores if that's what you're looking for. But there's constantly new places popping up. There's still a lot of new construction. There's a lot of things being added every day. So for example, Ross Park Mall, my personal favorite, just a larger mall, offers kind of every store. You know, you have Macy's, you have Nordstrom's, you even have some high-end stores such as Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Tiffany & Co. So if you're looking for those type of stores, Ross Park Mall would be your area. Restaurants, we have some pretty awesome restaurants. Of course, you know, a lot of your bigger name chains, but some of my personal favorites in the Wexford area. Toten's Diner, if you're looking for that kind of comfort food, amazing for breakfast, or, you know, just great cheeseburgers, things like that. Of course, you know, diner food. Toten's is amazing. You have Patron's Mexican Grill, really good Mexican food, kind of a staple in the Wexford area. Napa Prime, amazing steakhouse, just very nice high-end restaurant. And then you even have the Thornhill Tap House, which is just a really good place to grab a cold one, watch a Steelers game. And there also is a ton around there, you know, for the kiddos. There's a lot of little boutique places. Of course, we have kind of our, you know, trampoline parks, but there's some really cool kid-friendly even indoor places for the winter. All right, let's talk about the number 5 pro of living in Wexford, Pennsylvania, newer housing. So a nice thing if you're looking for acreage, Wexford does have some properties, you know, with some acreage, which is pretty awesome. Virtually impossible to find in the South Hills. So you're not going to find, typically, if you do, it's going to be extremely expensive, multiple, you know, 2-3 acre properties in Upper St. Clair or in Mount Lebanon. For that in the South Hills, it's going to be more into Washington County, into the Peters Township area. But again, with Wexford, if you're looking for that newer housing stock, it's a great place to check out. All right, number 6 reason to live in Wexford, Pennsylvania, no tunnels. So aside from the other pros we kind of talked about, traffic for some can be a nightmare, and traffic alone for some is the deciding factor of where they're going to live. So even though we're driven often in Western Pennsylvania by living based on school districts, for some it's going to be traffic. So one of the huge advantages, being that we are a city of bridges and tunnels, in the South Hills, you're always kind of hitting the tunnel going into the city, where in the North Hills, the great part about it, you're not. So even though there's typically a little bit of traffic getting to Route 79, once you're on the major highway, it's a straight shot right into the city. All right, the number 7 reason to live in Wexford, Pennsylvania, a lot of our professional athletes in Pittsburgh live there. So it is very common to run into Kim Hayward for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the local Starbucks or our giant grocery store. So a lot of them do live in that Wexford area. Again, the school districts are amazing, many of them having families. All right, so I promised the best reason here at the end, we'll call it bonus reason to live in Wexford, Pennsylvania, is gonna be North Park. So North Park being over a 3,000 acre park, it truly offers everything to everyone. So some of my personal favorites, it has a 5-mile paved loop. So if you're a runner, a biker, just even walk, it's a pretty awesome loop. You have, you know, a view of the lake pretty much during the whole loop. It's also very safe in that area, which is, you know, a nice thing. Even for the kiddos, like when I have Maverick with me, my son, take a bike ride, like it's a great place to bike because the traffic is very minimal and the speed limit is 15 miles an hour, and truly everyone adheres to that. But there's quite a bit of distance from, again, where you're jogging to where the cars are, which is nice too. So tennis, even a kind of it's called Go Ape for the kiddos. So kind of tree houses, rope swings, things like that. So pretty awesome feature that's right in North Park. There is ice skating, there's swimming in the summer, tons of playgrounds. The playgrounds are all newer, modern equipment. So that's, to me, a pretty awesome feature. Right there is OTB, amazing restaurant, sits right on the lake. So in the summer months, it's really cool sitting outdoors, having a view of the water while you're grabbing a bite, hanging with friends. Great food, great company, you know, people there are just super friendly, and also, you know, great drinks. So definitely North Park for me would be a huge driving force to move there. Just given, again, if you love the outdoors, everything you can imagine is there. Once again, if this is your first time to our channel, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe below, and tap that little bell to be notified of all new videos moving forward about everything living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.